Some of you don't know me, some of you don't work with me personally, and I love body language, all right? For those of you that don't know me, I train professionally and work professionally as an actor. I have done so for a number of years now. And it wasn't until I went to drama school and I started training that I realized the importance of body language and the physical communication between people and that your relationship to the space, all right? Most guys that I meet have absolutely no idea about what is going on with their body, how they're moving, how they're touching people, how they're relating to other people. And it became one of my passions to study this and master it, and it also obviously helps my career as well. What I'm going to be doing with this presentation is telling you about, first we'll start with the foundational stuff, okay? Give you some theory, some background knowledge and that kind of stuff, and then we'll move forward into some of the practical applications, because it's one thing being able to talk about body language, all right? It's one thing understanding it as a kind of mental process, but actually doing it and getting it in your body and feeling how it feels to own your body and own the space, that is completely separate to what most people can teach you, all right? So we'll start off with just a couple of concepts that I want you to bear in mind throughout this whole seminar. When I first started training, we were introduced to a few things that completely changed my concept of my body and the way I use it. With the stuff that Cajun's going to go into later on and what 5.0 is going to talk about with physical escalation, if you don't have an awareness of your body, and if your body is not alive and awake and under your conscious control, then it's going to be very difficult for you to then implement the things that we're going to teach you. Everyone agree with that, right? All right. So we'll wake you up and get it under your control. Presence, increased presence, is the result of two concepts. The first one is your sensory acuity. This is your ability to use your senses to understand what is going on in your body and in other people's bodies. It's also your ability to understand the environment and know how the environment has an impact on you. We talk about being in state when you're in a club, or people talk about how do I stay in state, or how do I get in state. If you don't have an awareness of your body and the effect that the environment is having on your body, then it becomes very difficult to control your state, all right? So, let's start with a guided visualization. Jim and I were speaking about this when Jim, Mr. M, he trained with the monks in Africa, all right? And he swore an oath not to reveal the teachings and the secrets. But I didn't take an oath, and I learned other stuff as well. But when we were talking, we realized that this exercise was similar to the stuff that he had already learned as well. And I'm going to take you through just to say hello to your body, to wake it up, and realize that you have everything that you need in order to communicate powerfully and increase your presence, all right? So just sit comfortably in your chair. So when your feet at a 90-degree angle, so your feet are flat, firm on the floor, all right? Let the weight of the chair, let the chair take your weight. So sit right back, okay? And sit comfortably. Just close your eyes. And I want you to focus on your breath at this point in time. Start taking deep breaths right into your center. Now, the Chinese talk about the emotional center and your qi energy coming from the Tantien, which is just beneath your navel, all right? So as you breathe in and take these deep breaths in, just imagine that the breath is going right down into your emotional center. And as you take these breaths in, I want you to start with your toes. Just send your conscious thought down into your toes. Give them a wiggle. Wake them up. Send that conscious thought and the breath. Imagine that your breath is going all the way down into your feet. And as you breathe in, send your conscious thought up your calves. Just spend time there. Just say hello to it. Clench them, relax them. Now up into your knees and your thighs. Spend conscious thought. This is all yours. And as you're thinking about this, and as you're feeling, and your body and the breath is moving through your body, I want you to still stay connected to your toes. Everything is still connected. Everything is one. It is all yours. And move from your thighs into your groin. Send conscious thought into your buttocks, your ass, into your lower back. Now into your stomach, in your abdominal area. Up into your chest. Notice as you just relax, release your chest, release the tension in your chest. And how about your shoulders? Have you checked in with them today? Just adjust them. I can see you guys adjusting them, that's right. Now into your neck. Just send some conscious thought there. Imagine that your muscles are just releasing. Just mud running off you. That's it. Adjust if you have to. Now into your face. And just relax. Release that. And on an in-breath, open your eyes and look around the room. All right. This level of awareness, can you feel a heightened sense of awareness of just knowing you're present now, you're in your body now, all right? This level of awareness and control of your body is the type of thing that increases your presence when you're out in a club or in the field, meeting people and interacting, all right? Just look to the person to your right or your left and just give him a handshake. And just feel how different it is greeting someone when you're comfortable and relaxed and in your body. It's very different, okay? There's a level of power and strength that you have when you're in your body completely, all right? So, the second concept of presence, it's a foundational stuff. And I want you to remember that this is something that I want you to be aware of throughout the whole seminar. Don't switch this off. Stay in touch with your body. When we go on to breaks, I want you to stay engaged throughout the whole thing, okay? Second concept is spatial awareness, all right? Spatial awareness is about knowing your personal space, and it's something about expanding your personal space, having control and command over it, and also knowing your relationship in the space with other people, okay? So knowing what is going on around you. There's a concept that actors and dancers use. It's called the kinesphere, all right? It's just a fancy word for the personal space, basically. Now, most people's personal space, and I get this a lot with students, as anyone who has learnt this from the ground up, they've, when it comes to touching, it can be like the most difficult thing in the world if you're uncomfortable touching. It's a psychological thing where someone's standing right there. To move from your arm from here to there can seem like a massive effort, right? This has to do with the personal space. As soon as I started to realize this, most people, their personal space is tiny, all right? Just a tiny little circle around them. I found out that if you stretch your personal space, okay, personal space is basically a bubble around you as far as your arms and your hands can reach. Everyone just put your hands up and just reach around. See how far you can go. Don't hit anyone in the face. All right? And that is, if you are in command of that space, that becomes all yours. That's your zone. So if you're already in touch with that space, reaching out and touching someone who is just there is a lot easier because they're already in your personal zone. Okay? So there are 3 dimensions that I want you to be aware of when it comes to personal space. Number 1 is the length dimension. This is forward and back. Okay? Forward and back. Simple. Okay? Number 2 is the breadth dimension. So this is from your left to your right. All right? And number 3 is your height and your depth. Okay? Something very interesting happens when you understand how to use the space. All right? I'm gonna give you a physical example of this right now. I mean, you guys know me. I'm just gonna grab this. We call this little thing here the neutral mask. What it does is it strips the emotion from the face, and we use it as a training tool in order to accentuate what your body is doing. All right. So let's have a little think about what happens as we use the different dimensions for spatial awareness. All right. I'm going to be. Can you hear me properly still? Can everyone hear me? Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to stand neutrally in the space. This is balance between all of the dimensions, okay? And actually, we can actually all stand up and try this. We call this the neutral posture. Let me take this off for a second. So just stand with your feet underneath you, hip width apart, relaxed, knees unlocked. Knees unlocked. Let me stand in the middle of this one. All right? Imagine that there's a string connected right there. And that just pulls you to the ceiling. Okay? It doesn't tilt your gaze up at all. Your focus is on the horizon. Your arms just hang comfortably by the side. All right? This is the neutral posture. What it does, I'm going to go into thin slicing later, but what it does, it just gives you, if someone's observing this, what sort of things does it read from just observing this on me? What does it read? You can sit down now, by the way. I put a mask on for this so that it just strips my face from it. What do you get? What do you pick up from just seeing me in a neutral position? Fire out some things.
Relax. I think it shows that you're comfortable within yourself.
Yep. Anything else?
Confidence.
Pardon?
Confidence.
Confidence. Yep. These are good things, by the way. We hear a lot, and we're going to go into different dimensions now. All right, let's just talk about what happens if I explore the width dimension, okay? Mm-hmm.
Prepared.
Say them out loud as well. So we got confident, cocky. What else do we get?
Expectant.
Expectant. All right. Now, confident and cocky. They're one's positive, one's negative. Okay. Now, it is not about. Exactly. It's not necessarily about what it gives you. It's about knowing how to use it. Sometimes you can be cocky and confident, but other times it's just knowing. You hear a lot of community speak is about, you've got to take up as much space as possible. But that looks try hard at times. All right. Personally, the neutral position for me is the best one. All right. Right. Let's look about if we narrow that space.
Afraid.
Weak. Defensive, sorry. Insecure. Closed.
All right. How about if we explore the height and the depth?
Guilty.
Rest.
Not in control.
get a very different sense of me. Now, I'm the same person. I'm the exact same person, all right? But you see how just slight little adjustments in your body language can make a huge difference from the way that people perceive you. How about if we try and find status through your body language, all right? Let's look at the height dimension.
Looking down on people.
Arrogant.
Strong.
Aloof. Eager.
Calming.
Same person. Exact same person. Slight adjustments in the dimensions in my relationship to the space, and you get very different feedback. All right, you pick up very different things. So let's look at increasing your presence and your relationship to this space. I want to do a little exercise with you now. This is the mental side of spatial awareness. Now, just everyone, I think we'll have enough space for this. We're going to find points of focus. And this is also great for getting you out of your head when you get nervous. If you get anxious or nervous inside in the field, this takes you out of your head, all right? So have one point of focus in the forward dimension, one point of focus behind you. Just turn around and find the spot behind you, all right? And keep a mental image of that spot behind you, and keep your focus on that spot in front of you, all right? Now, in the side dimensions, put your hands up. And just in your peripheral vision, make a note. Just at the edge of your peripheral vision, keep those points in focus, all right? So now you've got 4 points of focus right now. Put your arms down. And keep your focus on the points, okay? Now, stretch up. That's a point up there, 5th point. And then the 6th point, just look down. Keep your focus on there, all right? Now have all those points in focus as you move around. I want you to try this when you go to the toilets or in toilet breaks. Keep an awareness of this. We call it sending the cameras out. When you get self-conscious, people ask me, what do I do with my hands? What do I do with my hands? If you're thinking about what your hands are doing, it means that the cameras are focused in. You're becoming self-conscious. This puts you outside of your head, all right?